Welcome to Smex Ed. Class is in session.
I'm your host, Amanda King, and I'm here to teach anybody who wants to fucking listen how to have the audacity to say fuck it to societal standards and live their most authentic life. This podcast is dedicated to bringing the sexual conversations we have behind doors onto the main fucking stage. Because sex, masturbation, squirting, guess what? It is all normal. And by bringing these conversations to the forefront, we help people feel less alone in this world. We help them feel safe. We help them gain their power back. We help them step into their confidence and express themselves sexually in this world unapologetically. Because it takes fucking audacity to be your truest self. And we have a boatloads of audacity all up in this bitch. So let me ask you this. Are you ready for some epic shit? Hello, everybody. So let's discuss the female orgasm. And I know we've had podcast episodes about that before, but it is an elusive thing that a lot of people don't understand, and there's not a lot of studies behind it. So we're going to continue to talk about it. I received a message in my DMs from Facebook or on Facebook that said, can you explain the different sensations or feelings between a clitoral and vaginal orgasm? And I thought it was such a good question to dive in and explore. So that's what we're going to do today. So let's preface this by saying that the female body is capable of 12 different types of orgasms. Yes, 12. I know that's a lot, and it just proves how incredible the female body is. So let's just go through them briefly because I do have an entire training on the different types of female orgasms for Smex Ed magazine's like class of the month. It's a 52-minute training. It goes over the 12 types of orgasms, how to achieve each of them, where they're located, and then it goes over squirting and ejaculation, which is separate. So when we look at the 12 different styles of orgasms, this is what they are. We have an oral orgasm that is from the mouth, not oral sex. You can have an orgasm just by kissing. Yes, you can. Then we have the nipple orgasm. Then we have the clitoral orgasm. We then go inside. Oh, no, we have the urethra orgasm, which is outside of the vulva. Then we go into the vaginal canal and we have the G spot, the A spot, the cervical orgasm. Then we have anal orgasms, and then we have blended orgasms, multiple orgasms, sleep orgasms, and corgasms. Corgasms is one that a lot of people don't know about. That one is basically you can get an exercise-induced orgasm. I mean, if you ever need an excuse to exercise, right? But those are the 12 different types of orgasms that a female body can have. And if you haven't explored all of them, or you've only explored a few, just like let this be your permission slip to explore all of them or attempt to explore all of them, whether it is on your own during solo play or with partner play. Ladies, learning your body is the most important thing that you can do. And I know that masturbation in women is considered more of a taboo topic, or a lot of women are shamed into not masturbating because they believe that pleasure should be saved for partner play, and that could not be like the furthest thing from the truth. The only way that you are going to be able to communicate to your partner about what turns you on and what gets you off is you exploring that on your own first. Explore your body, see what makes you tick, see what you like, and then you can, during partner play, communicate to your partner. I like when you touch me here. I like when you do that. I like how that feels. So self-exploration is going to be key when you are trying to explore with these different styles of orgasms. Now let's get back to the question. Is a clitoral orgasm different than a vaginal orgasm? Yes. How do you receive a clitoral orgasm? The clit is actually outside. Let me take that back. The clit is much bigger than you think. Let's start there. So a lot of women think that the part that they can see in between the lips of the vulva is the clit. That is not the whole clit. That is what is called the clitoral hood. Now, the clitoral hood can be in a variety of sizes and shapes, right? It can be small and it can be as large as a baby gherkin's pickle. Yes, clitoral hoods can be that large. Some can protrude the lips, some can be tucked behind the lips. All is normal. Now, the clit is actually much larger than that. The clit almost looks like a wishbone, and it comes down the sides of your vulva. The size of a clit is, I think it's 3.5 to 4.5 inches long, and it can be about 2.5 inches wide. So it's much bigger than you think. So when you are stimulating the clitoral hood, you are stimulating the clit, yes, but you can also stimulate the clit by putting some type of vibration sensations or playing with the outer parts of your lips, because your clit is tucked behind there. So a little bit of clitoral information. The clit has 10,000 nerve endings in it. 10,000. The head of a penis only has 4,000. So the clit is made to be super duper sensitive. And a lot of women will message me and say things like, hey, I want to explore with my clit, but it becomes wicked sensitive. And like, sometimes it's too sensitive to touch and I have to like push my partner away. Also, completely normal. It has 10,000 nerve endings. It's meant to be super sensitive. And as you become aroused more, it's like the more sensitive it becomes, not because of the increase in nerve endings, but the increase in sensitivity of those nerve endings. So it typically takes a woman between 20 and 40 minutes to become fully aroused. That means your clit begins to engorge and or swell, because your clit is made of the same material that the penis is, right? So in your utero, let's say that 10 times fast. In utero, when you are given your genitalia, it is either formed into a penis or a clit, same exact material. So it is going to be super sensitive. Now, clitoral orgasms start by stimulating the clit in some fashion. Now, how do you stimulate the clit? Honestly, whatever feels best to you. If you have never stimulated your clit before, you're just going to want to start with your fingers. Part your lips or don't. It's up to you. If it protrudes, you're fine. What you basically want to do is you want to take your fingers and kind of do a circular motion on your clit. This is going to start to feel good, right? It is going to be sensitive. Your body may react to that. You may have like your body may buck a little. You may jump a little. It's meant to be sensitive. This body part was literally created. It has no other purpose except for pure fucking pleasure. It was created to make you feel as good as possible. So use your fingers, explore it, right? Use lubrication if you're not naturally lubricated at the beginning, and just rub it, flick it, play with it. Figure out what type of sensations you like. If your fingers are not enough, and you're practicing during solo play, then start adding toys. There are a bunch of different toys that you can add. There are clit vibrators, there are clit suction toys, there are clit air pulse technology toys. I have an entire article dedicated to the different types of the different types of vibrators, the 8 different types, in Smex Ed's magazine last month. So we're in December. So November's issue of Smex Ed magazine. Go read that article. It is chock full of information on all different types of vibrators, vaginal and clitoral, and like what their functions for, what part of the body they are meant to hit, as well as there's a bunch of links in there. Also, there is a Smex Ed toy guide that we created that has all of my most like highly recommended toys, with links that you can click. I will put that in the show notes, or I'll put that in the notes at the bottom of this if you're watching this on YouTube. So the clit can be stimulated typically by toys. If you've never used clitoral toys before, I would always suggest starting with a clit vibrator, just because they're typically the cheapest and they're typically the ones that most like vulva owners start with. A bullet vibrator can be as cheap as $3. Like, start there, start on low intensity, work your way up, then start exploring other types of stimulation that will, make you come from there. Now, a clitoral orgasm, it's hard to say, I guess, in a way, how it feels and how it differentiates from the other orgasms, because each orgasm is going to feel a little bit different in general, but then the female body is different. We're all individuals. So we are all going to react to orgasms in different ways. So if you are playing with your clit and you're stimulating your clit, know that it may take a little bit to get warmed up, and then it may take a little bit to orgasm. So some telltale signs, I'll put that in quotes because every single person is different, that you are experiencing a clitoral orgasm is you're going to start feeling very hot, right? When you are exploring in any type of pleasure, your blood pressure increases, right? Endorphins start filling your body. You're going to get hot. Some people may experience a like flush, like they physically get a little pink in the face, pink on the chest. If you're a vulva owner and you have your nipples tend to harden the more you get aroused, you may feel shaking sensations in your legs, your back may arch, you may feel like your toes are starting to curl, your breath will probably quicken the closer you get to receiving the orgasm. There are any others that I want to touch upon? I said you're hot. Yeah, basically those are kind of the telltale signs. You will start to feel a warming, calming, intense sensation that comes over your body, typically when you are experiencing an orgasm. Do not fear the intensity. The intensity is good. We are sometimes as a society told to fear very intense feelings, right? If you're feeling super sad, you shouldn't feel that, you should feel happy. Or if you're feeling super happy, that's not healthy. You have to have a little pessimism in your life, right? If you are this, you can't, like if you're angry, you can't be super angry. You can be angry only to a little bit. And so we tend to fear intensity in general. So when we are looking at exploring pleasure, we tend to enjoy it. And then when the intensity gets a little too intense, we tend to run away from it, i.e., taking the vibrator off your clit and stopping play altogether, or having your partner, if they're going down on you and they're on their clit and you're all of a sudden getting aroused, telling your partner to stop, right? Because that intensity can be scary. Run towards the intensity, not away from the intensity. Remind yourself that you are safe with yourself and with your partner. Take deep breaths. A lot of times when the intensity of an orgasm gets a little scary, we tend to almost hyperventilate. Remember, your breath is going to quicken. You're going to be like, it's an exercise. You're basically working out. So you want to just be able to relax your body and start taking like deep breaths in. Now, clitoral orgasms and vaginal orgasms are a little different, and they sometimes feel a little different. Vaginal orgasms are typically induced with penetration of some sort, whether it's a finger, whether it's a toy, whether it is genitalia. Typically, they are penetration induced. The orgasms that you can have within the vaginal canal are your A-spot orgasms, your lost at G-spot orgasms, and your cervical orgasms. G-spot is also kind of just labeled in general a vaginal orgasm. So let's talk about the vaginal canal. As the vaginal canal starts getting aroused, it stretches, right? So the vaginal canal is typically between 2 to 4 inches in length. As you start to become more aroused, your clit enlarges, and then your vaginal canal stretches out to about 8 inches in length, between 6 and 8. So a few things to know about this. Your G-spot is located 2 inches inside of your vaginal canal, typically between 2 and 4. Your A-spot is even deeper. So that's between 4 and 6 inches into your vaginal canal. And your cervical orgasm is the deepest orgasm that you can have, typically 6 inches in. So these 3 different types of orgasms are going to feel a little different as well. The typical orgasm that a female has is the vaginal or the G-spot orgasm. The more aroused you become, the more likely you are be able to hit the A-spot and cervical orgasms. They also tend to sometimes be easierly hit. I don't know if that's a fucking sentence. They tend to be easier to more accessible. There it is. We're getting it. when a woman is on top, because she can control the depth in which she needs the genitalia to go in order to reach those spots. So if you are looking to explore vaginal orgasms a little bit more, know that there are those three different types. The more aroused you are before penetration, the more likely you are to feel the three different types, right? G spots tend to be a little bit more, I don't want to say of a shallow orgasm, but they can feel a little bit more shallow. The A spot tends to be a little bit more intense. The cervical ones tend to be like those deep, full body style orgasms. So if you are doing or practicing or exploring, I almost said penetrative. I'm so used to censoring myself. Penetrative orgasms in the vaginal canal. Those are going to be the three that you are going to be able to feel and explore. And they're all going to be a little different. So telltale signs, say that 10 times fast, that you're having one of those orgasms. Well, same as the clitoral orgasm, basically being flushed, starting to like your breath increases, starting to feel your body tingle, arching of back, curling of toes, shaking of legs, hardening of nipples, base goosebumps is a big one too. Like all of your body starts to sometimes break out into chills. All are going to be a little different from each other, and all are going to be a little bit deeper within the body. So a G spot one may feel like an orgasm that lasts like, I don't know, 30 seconds to 2 minutes sometimes, or 30 seconds till I would say like a minute maybe. And then a cervical orgasm, because it is deeper, may be longer, because orgasms can also range between 30 seconds and 2.5 to 3 minutes, depending on the person, the pleasure, the spot that's being hit. Orgasms can last a little bit of a long time, a little bit of a long time. That sounds like an oxymoron, but they can last a decent amount of time. So you can have quick little orgasms, 30-second little pops, or you can have one extended one that's a 2-minute one, or you can have a variety of each. What's great about women is that we can have multiple orgasms. A multiple orgasm is one of the 12 types, like we've discussed before. And that just means that there is a small refractory period in between orgasms. So a woman can have a clitoral orgasm, kind of, I like to describe it as a hill, right? If we're going up and we have the clitoral orgasm, we've hit the precipice of the hill, we come back down, we slow down, we come back into our body. We have the ability to go right back up that hill and have another orgasm afterwards. We also have the ability to have what's called blended orgasms. Blended orgasms are when two areas of your body are stimulated at the exact same time in order to create a larger, more intense orgasm. So you see this with a lot of sex toys. They are called dual action sex toys. These are to help create those blended orgasms. So a lot of times you will see a penetrative toy, such as a rabbit vibrator, a G-spot vibrator, typically has a clitoral stimulator on there as well. Those are dual action. Or some people may use a G-spot vibrator that doesn't have dual action, but pair it with some nipple clamps or nipple suction toys, blended orgasm, or anal toys, right? You could use a butt plug and you can use a G-spot stimulator. Not dual action, two separate toys provides blended orgasms. And so that's a, I don't know, relatively long-winded answer or a short-winded answer to the different types of orgasms and why clitoral orgasms can feel a little bit different than vaginal orgasms. So the moral of the story of this whole thing is every single human body is different. And so we experience things in different ways. And so when I say telltale signs, if you have one of those signs, but you don't have the rest, perfectly okay. What resonates with you stays with you. What doesn't, you'll leave it the fuck at the door and just take what you need. Every body is different. And so to put us all in little boxes and say, this is exactly what this style orgasm feels like, is doing an injustice to every single person on this planet, because everybody is different. And so accept that, love that, embrace that, and then also realize that like you create your own, I don't know, You create your own sexual expression and what feels good to you and what doesn't. So harness that and be able to communicate that with your partner. Self-exploration is key. If you are sitting here listening and saying, wow, there's 12 types of orgasms the female body can have, and that does not include squirting and or ejaculation, which are two other things that are magical about the female body. And you're like, I've only explored a vaginal orgasm, and I don't know if I've ever experienced an A spot. Self-exploration during masturbation is going to be key. Why explore with yourself versus exploring with a partner? It's because typically when you are masturbating by yourself, it's about you. And what I mean about that is sex is great. Everyone loves sex, but sometimes with sex with a partner can cause us to innately put pressure on ourselves to perform, to be in the moment, to have to focus on them just as much as we are focusing on ourselves. But during self-exploration, that gets to be your time where you just get to focus on your pleasure, sink into the feelings, shut the world away, and just be with you. This is the perfect time to explore your body because you are safer with no one else in this world more than you are safer with yourself. And so when that intensity starts riding and you are by yourself, you can remind yourself, I am safe with myself. Here, I am safe to explore. Thank you guys so much, and I will see you on the next episode.
Thank you so much for listening to Smex Ed with Amanda.
And some parting words for you today. Remember this, no matter how hard society pushes you down, no matter how many times you fall, as long as you get the fuck back up, they can never stop you. You are unfuckable with. You will win. Don't allow this world to dictate how you show up in it. Don't allow society to make you bend the knee. Instead, make them bend theirs. And don't forget, if you like what you heard, go on to iTunes and Spotify and leave your girl a review. Until next time, my beautiful people.